Windows short scale and the internet and YouTube, which are all basically the same thing. Not relatively, but short scale is part of the internet, YouTube is part of the internet, they're a collective whole. Demo of the Vox, turn your box, the Amplug AC30. I can't unplug it because it's plugged into that thing, which is plugged into the computer, and the wire's kind of short. Yeah, it's a little headphone amp that Vox released a couple of years ago. There's 4 models of it. There's 5 models of it now, I believe. There's this one, which is the AC30 model. There's the rock model, which I believe is more of a Marshall-y higher gain, not high gain, but like more gain sounding. There's a metal version, I believe, which is what I heard most of on YouTube, which is basically, you know, they're just taking the circuit and going, where are the mids? Let's just scoop. And there's the bass version, which I'd quite like to hear on guitar. And there's a lead version, which I believe is similar to the rock version, but there's like a delay effect built in, which is, I haven't checked if that's controllable, but if the delay effect is on all the time and you can't turn it off, then that's fucking retarded. But if it's not, then that could be kind of cool if you can modify it. I'm not sure, because like these tend to be quite simple. Like this has got gain, tone and volume controls, that's it, and a headphone output and an auxiliary input for plugging in like iPod, CD player, blah blah blah, whatever sort of thing. That's kind of redundant, but yeah. Using this new Pro Diamond area thing that I got today actually from Fran in trade for the Jazz Blaster I used to have with the 2 humbuckers. So yeah, let's get started. I'm just going to leave it at the sound, at the settings that I had, and just take you through the gain sweep. Yeah, can't speak. Headphones. Making it cleaner. And while I'm here, I'll just show you some more clean stuff. Don't know why I chose to sing there, and that'd be cut out anyway, because if I leave in the mic, all you hear is this horrible twanging, which completely overpowers the Amplug. So yeah, while I'm doing the gain, I'll just show you how it cleans up with the volume knob on the guitar. So there's, you know, the driven sound. It actually cleans up very well. the tone control is a kind of, it's not just like a tone pot on a guitar. It's not just like a higher roll off. It does, it gets very bright if I just down the gain a little bit. This is with the tone all the way up, and you can hear it's very kind of, I'm guessing that's where they were going for the top boost sound. And as you roll it off, it does add a little bit of low end, while obviously attenuating the high end. And yeah, just down to wooliness. That's where I tend to put it, so there's just a little bit of crispness, and you can kind of back it off with the tone control of the guitar. So that's pretty much it. It's not hugely, it's more versatile than I expected. My main reason for not buying one for a while is because I didn't want the rock one, because that said to me that it wouldn't have any cleans. But the AC30, I thought they might have been like AC30, 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 and like, you know, it just do like this like top boost kind of crumbly sound, whereas and it wouldn't do the, you know, the kind of clean. It does have a lot more gain than I expected as well. It's not, you know, high gain, but it's got more than I thought. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Pop for the Amplug. It's a good little headphone amp. It's just good anyway. It's good for recording. I just plug it into the 4-track if I want. Simple, just plug it, because it's headphone level, you can just plug it straight into the line in of a computer if you want, and off you go. You know, you can record quite easily, and it's, you know, a lot cheaper than buying, although you don't have to buy things like guitar rig if you want to, you know, have something to mess around with when it's late, or play, or, you know, to do recordings with without having to mic an amp. This is a much better solution, and it's actually really good for the price. So yeah, this little tack on at the end. I want to say big thanks to Enns for the plectrums, and James and his parents that came today. I don't know if the camera can focus on that. Yeah. See you later.